Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach podcast. I'm Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach, and today we have a very interesting episode. We're going to be talking about passion, finding your passion, finding what it is that you're so passionate about, because this is a question that I get often asked on Ashdin, how do you find my passion? So now we have an expert with us. We have Dev Gadhvi, who's going to talk to us about discovering your passion and how he discovered his. So Dev, welcome to the Habit Coach podcast.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really excited. And hello to all the listeners as well.
Me too. Dave, quickly tell our listeners a little bit about yourself. Share your story because I think it's a fantastic story for everyone to listen to.
I would love to. So I come from a very small background. I mean, small, family background. My dad was a truck driver, very humble, hardworking. Uh, I grew up in slums, right? So come from Adipur, Kutch, Gujarat, and growing up itself was a challenge because of limited resources or finances. And when you're surrounded by the environment like this, uh, your mom and dad has to be really really good in terms of raising you in that environment to make sure that you don't get impacted by the people who are around you who will drink, fight, gamble, and abuse.
Yeah,
So
you get
that's the
sucked into that aspect of life, right?
yes,
Absolutely.
influence is big, big time. So my mom and dad made sure that we don't get influenced by the people. And luckily, we both, me and my brother, in spite of my dad not making a lot of money, they sold whatever little money they had. I mean, jewelry they had. They borrowed the money, sold the little bit of house that they had, just for me and my brother to get an English medium education. So that's the upbringing that I had, and I'm very proud from what I seen my father humble and hardworking from there to getting where I am today. So that's my story starting, and then got into a job, could not speak proper English. It's funny that being an English medium school, but barely speaking English at school, Hindi, Kutchi, Gujarati, even Sindhi sometimes, but rarely will speak in English within our friends' family. Um, and then finally I got into job 16 years. Long story short, I worked in job for 16 years, changed different roles, starting from call center to getting into sales, selling all kind of product and services, selling databases, technology, market research, consulting services, so many things. And then something shifted in 2016, I would say, which got me to realize that I was suffering from a disease called mediocrity.
Lovely.
I was stuck in mediocre thought process. What is mediocrity? A lot of people don't even know that they are suffering from it. Is when you are not clear about your own potential. You don't have big goals, big dreams, big ambition, and you're just getting by. That is mediocre. Like doing less than your potential is mediocrity. A shift happened, started reading books, invested in self-development, changed my habits, belief system, as as the podcast is all about, habit coach. I changed a lot of things from there. And it's been like last 5.5, 6 years now. Started my journey as an entrepreneur, as a passionpreneur mentor in 2018, and been very fortunate, built a multi-million dollar business, became twice best-selling author on Amazon. Both the books have got 2,000 plus reviews, loved by a lot of people. Been speaking on big stages, international, a lot of things. They trained, thousands of people, lakhs of followers. But what I really, really feel happy about is being able to serve people. I think that inner, hota hai na soul ko satisfaction, that soul satisfaction, you will know it better because you've been serving your audience for so many years, 1,000 plus episodes in this podcast. That makes me really happy when I'm able to help people who are lost, like me. I was stuck, not sure what to do in life. When I help those people find their passion, that is my true drug.
Amazing. Amazing. Dave, you've said so much. Let me just quickly unpack the story. I just want to first start off with this concept of mediocrity, right? I think
Mhm.
that is such a powerful statement that you said, that people are stuck in this space of mediocrity, saying just getting by with life, just living life. Can you expand a little bit upon this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's look at the nature. I think there's no better teacher than the nature, right? If you look at the nature, if you look at elephant will fully grow and become elephant. Lion will fully become lion. Rabbit, whatever the living species are, whether animals or birds or mammals or even trees, plants, they also are living. You see, all the trees will go and go to the maximum capacity of theirs. There will be no mango tree. Will say, "Aaj mera mood nahi hai. I'm not going to give mangoes this year." Right? Mango tree will fully become mango tree and will fully blossom and give the mango trees based on the seeds. Whereas only the human beings are the only species who has an option to be less than their own true potential. And why does that happen? It really shocks me that we say that we are at the top of the food chain, but yet we are so ignorant. Technologies has evolved, but human minds and souls have been deprived of evolution. It is just stagnant and going even down. We get so consumed by the noise around us, and we forget that this conditioning that we had from the education, then the society, then even somewhat even corporate system that we have, it just made us become like robot. क्यों जा रहे हो स्कूल पता नहीं everybody is going. Why are you going to college? I don't know, because everybody, कौन सा डिग्री लोगे? Oh, my friends are choosing this. Most of our decisions, we think that it is our decision, but in reality those are unconscious decisions which are influenced by the environment that we are surrounded by. And I come from that environment, and I thought that, oh, I'm making 3 lakh a month in my last job in a sales associate director. I thought I'm doing great, because my benchmark was, oh, my dad was a truck driver. All my relatives and friends are not making much money. So compared to them, I am doing 3 lakh, I'm like a king. And that was mediocre. Our benchmark is why the people around us, why not you become the benchmark? And it's not to prove to other people. I truly believe that humans have huge potential, but barely we use even 2 to 5% of potential. And the if you look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right, it starts from the basic survival, food, shelter, and all that. Then your family, your love, your self-esteem, right? We crave for this. And people who go from survival to security mode, right, they go all from survival to security mode. Most of the people in my experience are living with mediocre mindset, because they're just looking for just enough. When you do something for just enough, what you will have is less than enough. And that's where the midlife crisis kicks in, right? 20 saal 30 saal ke ho gaye, but then we are not able to have a fulfilled life. We thought that money is going to fulfill us. We thought, oh, great career and finances will make us happy. Then you have decent amount of money. They're like, now what? Iske baad kya? Right? Am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Is my mindset great? Is my health great? Is my family great? Then people realize, no, this is not the life I signed up for. I was brainwashed. So to me, mediocrity is a disease which is even fatal than corona, which is killing many dreams. People don't even realize it. So that is to me mediocrity, doing less than your true potential, being less than who you're capable of. And then some people say, but they why do I do more? Don't do more. If you're happy with your life, no problem, right? But if you go to the next level of evolution from safety, security, so survival to security, then comes the success. Am I successful? Right? My friends, colleagues, peers, my job, business. Very few people go to significance. And when you go towards significance, is nothing but self actualization. The true actualization, have your true happiness will come once your stomach is full. Like, am I utilizing my full potential? Am I growing as a human being? And then ultimate, the peak of the humankind is serving people. Am I serving other people? The true joy and meaning comes from serving. But we all have to go through this phase. But unfortunately, people get stuck from survival to security, and they never even get to success, and forget about significance and contribution. So this, according to me, is mediocrity.
It's so true. People are just living in fear, right? And fear is where security rules. So if you're constantly in a state of fear, you're constantly craving security. And like you said, if you're targeting security, you're going to be insecure most of your life.
And
Um,
that's what, right, most of the people, 80% people are in jobs, by the way.
Correct.
Not that doing a job is bad, but doing in a job with just safety and security mindset is deadly killer. That being in a job or do business, whatever you do, your aim is not to survive and have security and safety. Your aim is to thrive and grow. Nature wants you to grow. Everything around nature grows. And that's what it is, right? You see, I say this: growth glitters, stagnancy stinks.
Mm.
Just take the water. Beautiful, right? Dharma of water. I'm a spiritual guy, I follow Vipassana, Sadhguru, and all. The पानी को एक जगह पे रख दो, if you keep the water at one place, the elixir of life becomes poison in few weeks. Same thing. Think about human potential now. You conserve the same potential and you keep it stagnant at the same place, you will start stinking, and that stinking will be into like, yeah, I'm not enjoying my life. It's so frustrating, so painful. Ye nahi ho raha hai, wo nahi ho raha hai. And then a lot of people get into stress and depression because of this,
Correct.
because they're not able to maximize their potential. So that is what happening with most of the people today.
Absolutely. I went through this phase and I was saying, I don't want to hire anyone for my business anymore. I only want to get people who are either their own company or freelancing. That
Mm,
means that they have taken the responsibility for their own growth. To a
yeah,
certain extent, why should I be giving that security? Because in my mind, a job security is something that, again, you're aiming for mediocre unless you're
yes.
going to be doing something dramatic in it. So that was the
I-
first thought that I had. Um, the second thing is that where is this aspect of success? You spoke about hitting success after security. How do you decide what your parameter for success is?
Very good question. I think success is very subjective from person to person, right? For somebody, oh, if I make a lot of money is success. I asked this question to all my mentees when they joined the webinar. I was like, define your success. Is it, oh, becoming financially free is success? Oh, having time freedom is success? Having love and joy is success? So there's no one unique definition of success. Um, if I have to summarize the bottom line, if you're happy and joyful most of the time of your life, that to me is success. Whether you're making 1 million or 1 crore or 1 lakh, it does not matter. अंदर से खुशी है, if you're happy from inside, if you're joyful every day, to me that is success. But if I have to give a specific definition of holistic success, according to me, what is my definition of holistic success? Are these five pillars: mental, physical, spiritual, financial, and social. Like, why just settle for mental happiness and not having physical? Why settle for financial freedom and not have time freedom and physical, liberty to do whatever you want whenever you want? Why not just have health and also serve people so you can have spiritual experiences as well? Why not have all this and not have social also? Like, relationship. Ultimately, what matters is your relationship, your loved ones, and experiences. So to me, is holistic success is when you have these five pillars. That to me is very successful person. So that's my
Amazing.
definition.
Amazing. And does service always feature with purpose? Like when we discuss purpose, and I think that we should be getting into that conversation.
Mhm.
When we think about purpose, firstly, how do you define it? And then what is the way that you think about it? How do you talk to your mentees about it?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Um, Success is what you get,
Hmm.
and fulfillment is what you give.
Amazing. Explain.
Right? So success is like, oh, mera paisa, my car, my house, my money, my career. Success, me, 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 me.
Acha, it's
But that,
inward oriented.
yeah, it's from outside. You're acquiring inside.
Hmm.
Fulfillment is different. A lot of people may have success, but they're not fulfilled. Oh, I'm financially successful. I'm this, but I'm not fulfilled. Peace nahi hai. Kyun? Because ultimate evolution of humankind is when you get to that peak of serving people, and purpose is derived from the fulfillment. I mean, fulfillment is derived from the purpose, and purpose is not what you get. Passion is what you love, but purpose is what you do for others. You serve others and help others. Now a lot of people are different, having different personalities. Some people are brain driven, some people are heart driven, right? And this heart driven people, purpose comes very naturally and easy to them. Oh, I want to serve people. And their language also, I've noticed, karoge na Ashwin, the language is, I want to help people, I want to serve people, look at people, people, people. Word will repeat a lot. And I'm assuming you are people person, otherwise you will not be doing this. You are
Correct.
purpose driven, otherwise you'll not be doing this. A lot of people are brain driven. For them, success, acquisition, a lot, serving, it does not click. But the ultimate evolution of that person would come when they switch off their brains and start from the heart, start from the soul, and then bring the brains into it. Whether you want to have a great career, great business, great life, you start from your heart and your soul, because we are spiritual being having spiritual experiences. So our existence on this earth is temporary. We all gonna die. So यहाँ शुरू हो गया जर्नी, you're marching towards your death. तो इस जर्नी के बीच में आप क्या करोगे? Are you going to accumulate, accumulate, accumulate? or are you going to distribute, distribute, distribute? Are you going to get attached to things, mera, or are you going to get detachment and you keep serving people without getting attached to things? And and our shastras and those Purans have already said it, right? Sab maya hai, sab moh maya hai. And you start running after moh maya, तो कब आप बोलोगे कि यार मैं फुलफिल्ड हूँ? कब हैप्पीनेस आएगा? ओ 1 million if I make, I'll be satisfied. 10 million? No. I was happy soul when I just started my journey and I had just 1 crore. And I'm a very happy soul. Even if I'm making 50 crores a year or 100 crores a year, I'm still happy. So money does not define my level of happiness. What really defines my level of happiness is giving back to the community, serving people. When I get people saying that they, because of your book, I changed, right? That gives me happiness and joy and fulfillment. So this is the difference. And when you start giving, you start finding your purpose, right? And maybe that's a good perfect segue, like kaise dhoonde abhi, right? I don't know if that is your question, if I'm reading your mind.
Absolutely. How do I
Yeah.
find it, right? How do I find it? Where is this purpose coming from?
Yeah, and especially when people are young, this sounds like woo woo foo foo kind of thing. It sab bakwas hota hai, sab kuch nahi hota hai, paisa kamao. I'm not saying you should not earn money. You should make a lot of money because money also at the end of the day is spiritual. You can do a lot of good with that money, so you should earn the money. But in order for you to find your purpose, right, which will eventually become your passion, because when you serve, it will become passion, is just ask few questions to yourself. Very simple, basic questions, right? First question is, what problems can I solve for others? It's not about you. It's not about me. The whole life, whatever age your age is, if you're listening this, whatever your age is, for whole life you've been consuming, right? Take. I want to become successful. A lot of people reach out to me, Dave, I want to be a millionaire like you, multimillionaire like you. I was like, you want to be a multimillionaire? Serve a million people, right? Or have an impact of $1 million. So you'll become a millionaire, right? Is no shortcut. So instead of asking what business can I start, which career is best for me, which skill can I learn, just ask what problems I would like to solve for others, right? And more problems you solve, more happiness you'll have, more money you'll have. Everything is connected to that because that's how universe looks at it, right? And universe does not give you what you want. Universe gives you what you deserve based on who you are. I repeat, universe does not give you what what you want. It gives you what you deserve based on who you are. But if you are just a taker, it'll not give you. You're selfish. It'll give you enough just for survival. But if you're a giver, if you're serving people, solving problems for people, you will get more. That's number one question. Number two question, right? You can ask universe, like, what problems have I solved for myself that I can solve for others, right? Like, for example, I was stuck in a mediocrity. I solved that problem for myself and I wanted to solve for others. It became my purpose. Right? I don't want anybody to die mediocre. I don't want anybody to live a mediocre life. I want people to maximize their potential. And I did this research, by the way. When I found my mission, when I found I was mediocre, I did the research. How many middle class people in India, like people living in middle class? At that time, I think 260 some million people were there, 25 crore middle class people. Now it's definitely grown. Like, it's been 7, 8 years. Right? Half of the population, let's assume, in India is middle class. Chote sapne, choti soch, choti zindagi. Like small dreams. Now, nothing wrong with it. If that makes them happy and fulfilled, nothing wrong. But I know in my experience, 90% of people are not happy and satisfied with their life. And I said, I'm going to serve those people because I was one of them. I want to help them to come out of that mediocrity. Started creating content, started writing books, started making videos. It made me fulfilled. So if you're watching this, ask yourself, what problems have you solved for yourself? Each and every person would have solved some problem for yourself. But I'm a college graduate. You would have solved studies problem, mindset problem, relationship problem, right? How do being a teenager, being a youngster, a lot of mixed emotions happen. You're transitioning from teen to an adult. A lot of emotions. You would have taken care of that. One of my student, Vikas Agarwal, he wrote a book. You're not too young to become successful in life, right? He was like, "Kaun meri baat sunega? I'm 20-year-old." I said, "Go share your story." And that's when he started serving people. He started getting invitation from other people, from stages and all that. So that's the second question. And final question is, um, what problems do I deeply care for and I don't want others to face? You may have not faced that problem, but you would have seen your family members facing the problem, your relatives facing problem. It could be environment, it could be animals, it could be plants, it could be something that you deeply care for. Now, I'm not asking you to just start an NGO of charity. I'm saying you can be a social entrepreneur. You can have profit for a cause, right? Like Passionpreneur Mastermind that we run, it is not an NGO, but it is a social entrepreneurship because uplifting people from middle class, helping them to become entrepreneurs and becoming crorepati's first generation. So ask these three questions and universe will respond and do not lose patience because a lot of people get frustrated. अरे यार क्यों आंसर नहीं आ रहा क्यों आंसर नहीं आ रहा है right? No, you're going against spiritual law. Have patience, keep doing that, and it'll come to you at the right time, at the right place.
Dave, this is amazing because the questions that you asked are self reflectory. That means things that have happened to you, so the answers are easier. And then
Mhm.
and then you take these questions and push them out, saying that now this is how I can probably serve the world.
Yes.
Now, there's something that probably people will have as an issue, which is, do we answer all three, or is it an or is it an and?
No, it could be or. See, the thing is, no, there is no one answer, that can give you the clarity. Keep asking these questions, and something will connect with you. Now, there are more questions. I've written that in my first book, 80% mindset, 20% skills. You don't know. किसी का answer इस question से आएगा, किसी का answer that question. So it is just a self-reflection. It is not a checklist that I need to have all the answers. Then only I'll find the purpose. It is for self-reflection, right? Like you do chanting or namaz padhte ho, ya you go to Bible study or whatever. You don't know which verse of that is going to connect to your soul and heart, right? Bhagavad Gita padhte ho, whatever scriptures. So same thing, right? You are every entire universe is within you, and you don't know which word will spark that feeling of, man, this is what I want to do. It could be maybe watching somebody's videos, maybe watching your videos and podcasts, like, man, I want to do what you're doing. And maybe I want to do what Dave is doing. Maybe I want to be a singer, maybe I want to dancer, maybe a comedy host or anchor or whatever. Like something will connect. Like even Kapil Sharma is serving people,
Yes.
right? You are also serving people. I'm also. We have different way of serving people. It's seven. Not everybody is doing the same thing same way. So whatever connects with your heart, explore that more and more and more, and then the clicks will happen. And it is not a switch on and off button. The small small voices that is in your ears that comes your mind, your heart says. You pay attention to that because we've been suppressing that for so many years. Like वो ना 3 Idiot में dialogue है, प्यार करता है जानवरों से, शादी कर रहा है मशीनों से, right? He loves animals, photography, but he's getting married to engineering, and that's what happened, right? All the engineers you see in India, they're not necessarily passionate about engineering. So listen to the heart, and you don't have to quit your job or business immediately. Let the time sink in, let this thing feeling sink in, and then the click will ultimately happen with the small clicks, and then you choose that path.
This is so amazing because um, before we get into how you take your passion or your purpose and convert it into a business or a lifestyle or in that orientation, there's something that I very often see, which is especially with this younger generation, they're very passionate about too many things. I want to save climates, I want to save pets, I want to save the underprivileged, I want to save this, and everything becomes their passion, their purpose. And I think it's leading to a lot of sadness in that sense because you're like saying, oh my God, there is so much to do and the world is doomed. Have you
True.
noticed this taking place? How do you decide on which actually is it? How do you choose a purpose in this? Because you can't obviously be passionate about everything, right?
No, 100%. I think it's a very, very good question. I love the questions. Um, I think out of all the passions that you have, do not confuse hobby with your passion and purpose. Hobby, you can do it part time, celebrating, relaxing. I want to just a painting, not necessarily I want to build a career out of that. Just doing that. But there's difference between that hobby and things that you like to do versus the passion and purpose. Passion and purpose are like your calling. Today, I ask a lot of people, can you tell me why you were born? Like, what do you mean? I don't know. Most of the people don't know. Why were you born? They don't know. The day when you get the answer saying that, I was born to do this, that is your purpose, right? If somebody asks me, Dave, why were you born? I can clearly answer this. I was born to transform 1 billion lives by helping them to find their passion and purpose and building business around it. This is why I was born. And I believe everybody is born for a reason. We all have our purpose, we all have our calling. It is up to us to find it. When you have too many options, right? Tactical advice I'll give is give it a try, little bit, and see which your heart connects. And you'll get into the state of flow. Jahan pe time flies and you don't realize, Arey, right? Like today when we are doing this, I'm sure you and I, we never look at the time and what is happening in this engaging discussion. Like, oh my God, आधा घंटा हो गया. Oh my God, एक घंटा हो गया, right? It's we are because we are in the state of flow because you're doing what you love. It's your purpose. I'm doing this because I love this and helping people, empowering people. Somebody gets into the state of flow and trance, bolte na, right? When they're playing music, when they're doing gardening, when they're doing cooking, when they're doing something. Today, a couple of my mentees joined. They're passionate about cleaning. That's their therapy. So maybe do something to the cleaning. So try, a little bit of whatever it is, and especially youngsters, please do not lose patience. पूरी जिंदगी पड़ी है आपके सामने. अभी तो 20 साल ही हुए, आपकी शुरुआत ही हुई है. I can show you people in 50s and 60s and 70s, they still don't know their passion and purpose. तो आपके पास तो decades पड़े हुए हैं. So have patience and test it, and then your heart will say, you know what, this is where I'm going to go deep. This is one way of doing it. Second way of doing it is more or less these multiple passions, they will have some synergy between it. They'll have some commonality between it, right? Like for example, I'll give you an example of one of my mentee, Prakash. When he started his journey to find the passion, he was in a job. He loved dogs, right? And he also was fitness, enthusiast. I met him in 2018 in the first workshop he joined. And he's like, hey, what should I do? Should I, do dog coaching, training, grooming, hosteling, or should I do fitness coaching? I said, why either or? Why not and? Why not integrate both? And that's he came up with this idea of fitness with the with your pet, right? So you run, your dog also runs. Like, oh, why choose either or? And he started making the parents, the dog parents more fit and fitness awareness. Today he's making more than a crore plus in his revenue, just being one or two people team member or three people team member. So you test it one way. Second way, you integrate all of them, and then you can do both. He has his dogs as well. Now he's into fitness. He's lost. He has a personal story which is very powerful. He was fat and he became super fit. So both are story aligned.
Amazing. So there are synergies between this. And I love what you said, saying that don't be in a hurry to find this purpose that you have right now. You have so many years. Maybe it's about planting the seeds right now. It's not about just doing nothing and waiting and then waking up at 50 and saying, Chalo, I don't have my purpose. But it is from now starting the process of discovering it.
True.
Absolutely. So now once I discover the purpose, I've answered these three questions, right? I've figured out something that I'm madly, I know this is it. What do I do next?
Great. I think there is a process now. And the process, don't just fall in love with the passion and think that, this is what I'm going to do. Don't get confused with self-indulgence, right? Oh, I'm passionate about watching movies. Okay, you're not adding any value to the universe. You're not producing anything, right? By watching movies, that's a self-indulgence, right? But if you watch movies and do critic and make videos, help people to choose what movies, right? Maybe then you're adding some value to people. But there's a process. You take passion and you convert that into business, because if you don't find a way to make money from your passion will become poison, right? The passion and purpose, if you're not able to monetize it, I'm not talking about charity and NGO, you need to find, but how do you make money from it? Is by adding value to people, right? Because money in the bank is direct reflection of the value added in the marketplace. We all have heard that. So more value you add, more money you'll make. So now, step one, once you have the clarity, okay? First step was getting the clarity. Second step is coming up with a plan, or how do you intend to add value to people? Which category of people you want to serve? How do you want to serve them, right? So coming up with that plan. Next step, start adding value to people for free. How? Social media, podcast, speeches, one-on-ones, whatever you're doing, start adding value to people, right? Next stage, convert whatever your passion and purpose is now into a product or service. It could be physical, it could be digital, right? It could be consulting, could be coaching, could be anything. Convert that into product and service from small to high ticket to premium ticket. That's the next stage. Once you have built that, then start selling it through one on one, one on many, online, offline. Learn how to sell, because to me, selling is serving. Start selling this to people. And a lot of people are afraid and fearful of sales. I love selling. These are the steps, and then eventually you automate and scale your passion to business.
Amazing. So, as soon as you have this purpose, it's passion that you have, you immediately start figuring out what I can do to now spread it. I love this
Yes.
thing about podcast videos. Even if you're sitting in your society, talk to four uncles about it, right?
Yes.
Start
Yeah.
talking to people about it, because when you talk about it, your purpose is being fulfilled, but more importantly, you're getting practice. Many of
Yes.
us want to start charging before we actually have done the practice work for it. And I think that
Yeah.
is where the free part comes in.
I actually did a lot of so many videos, from 2016 to 2018, when I quit my job and started full time passionpreneur journey. I did so many videos, so much of content for free, and I did hundreds of one on one coachings for free. Like a lot of people don't see it. They're like, oh, you become successful. No, it was not a fluke. I served people for 1.5 years while I was in a job. I was living three lives in one life, right? One was my survival life from job security, right? The second life of family and taking care of health and family and routine, everything. Third life of passion, right? And that passion, I was spending 3-4 hours every single day in creating content, serving people, adding value to people. I created my WhatsApp communities. Every single day I'll leave a voice note, motivate them, right? I just want to spread the message in voice note, because you know I want to give, I want to serve. People laughed at me, people mocked me. Hey, kya gyan de raha hai, kya gyani baba ban gaye ho tum. I'm sure it would have happened with you as well. Right? And then, like, well, it does not matter, man. It's not for you. Ignore. Even my some of my close family members also laugh. ये क्या कर रहे हो तुम? Right? अपने job में ध्यान दो. Right? What are you doing with this content or not? But it just happened over a period of time that you keep serving people, universe will serve you.
And it's really funny. All the people who say that soon will start saying, now you become too big. No, you've forgotten all of us. Right?
That's
That's the
exactly
second one.
what is happening.
And,
That's
and
exactly
I
now.
now have a standard answer for all that guilt that comes. It's like, yes, I've become too big. I don't have time. That's it. Now, matlab, now you take your guilt and you take it with you home.
क्या बोलेंगे सही सही बात है absolutely.
Amazing. I'm going to go get it as well. Sales. When I say the word sales, Dave, what are the thoughts that go through your mind?
My mind, well, before and after. Before I was scared, and when I started my journey as sales, I've been in sales for 16 plus years. Worked in a job, then in business, selling different things, 6 plus years. So 22 plus years I've been in associated sales. Before and after. Before it was scary. Before it, like, man, why am I forcing people? It's slimy. I'm just becoming like a pest and all that. I had a lot of negative affiliation towards sales at the beginning. I used to be scared. To make cold call was like a nightmare at the beginning. But then as I started knowing more about sales, होता ना, अंधेरे में डर लगता है. When there's darkness, everybody gets fear, right? When there is a brightness and you saw everything, there is no fear now. There's no other thing. So when I was in the dark, that sales is bad and slimy, I was a little scared and skeptical about it. But as my ignorance was reducing, I started realizing, my God, today my definition to your question is what comes to my mind when I look at sales. To me, only one word come to my mind: service. Because to me, selling is serving. You cannot serve people if you're not able to sell. Now think about this, right? Everything that we do in our life, we have to sell ourselves, or we are being sold by somebody. Whether you're getting married, or you want to have kids, you want to have business, personal life, even go on a date, what movie to watch with your friends or your partner. You have to persuade and you have to sell. And when you do that, you're serving people. If people don't buy you, your product, your service, you've not made any difference. And here's an example I gave, by the way, that if you are in sales, if you're in business, I'm telling you, you are in the best, one of the best professions in the world. If you have chosen this as a career, or you are in a sales, because you're in business. Think about this, right? Today, if I give you 1,000 rupees and you give me 1,000 back, Did anybody's life become better? Did any change happen? No. But what if I say, you know what, Ashwin, you give me 1,000, I'm going to give you 2,000 back. Has your life become better? Yes or no?
Value addition has taken place.
Value addition has taken place because you give me 1,000, I give you 2,000. You give me 1,000, I'll give you 5,000. 5 times more value. You give me 1,000, I'll give you 10,000. 10 times more value. Now put this into a business perspective. When people are paying you money, money is nothing but a thank you note. They're giving you a thank you note for making their life better with your product or your service. Whether you're selling somebody else's, your company's products, or you're selling your own product and service, it's a thank you note. It's an exchange of energy which has happened. They would not be a better person if there was no sale. They would have not, bought it. The money in the bank would have not given them what they want, because money is means. Money is not the end. So when you're in sales, it's your duty, your obligation, your responsibility to serve. And selling is the best form of serving. Also, one more point I want to add is everything is spiritual. Even running a business is spiritual. Even selling is spiritual. Because spirituality kya hai ultimately? If I have to give it my own naive small definition, spirituality is two ways. One is knowing who you are truly, and the second is serving others and helping them to become better, right? Sales, you help people to become better, right? That's what my definition is sales, and this is what I think about sales.
It's so true. It's not about selling something that a person doesn't want or need to somebody. It's not like I chip out this product onto this person,
Yeah.
right? And normally we think about sales as that slimy salesman who's going to cheat you on the car that you're buying, etc.
Yes.
But instead, like you said, it's service. That means that all good sales starts by first understanding what the other person's problem is, right? And then
100
solving for that problem.
100%. 100%.
Right.
Right? It's like one more aspect I share with people, which gives them a paramount shift. I learned from my mentor, Dan Locke. He said, you don't sell to people, you sell for people. I repeat one more time. You don't sell to people, you sell for people. Meaning, it's not a torture you do to people, right? You do for people because they don't know how their life is going to change with your product or service. They don't know it. So when you sell it, you're selling for them on their behalf. And psychology of sales is very interesting. I've studied deeply this topic. We run one of the biggest events in India in terms of revenue generation, like 3 day event. Last event we generated about 20 crores in just 3 day event.
Wow.
So I can talk a thing about selling and closing and persuading. There's a difference between manipulation and persuasion.
Hmm.
A lot of people think selling is manipulating and getting what no, it's not manipulation. Persuasion is serving people. So what is the difference? Manipulation is making other people do or getting other people to do what you want them to do for your benefit. That is manipulation. That's called politics, rajniti, right? But what is persuasion then? Getting other people to do what you want them to do for their benefit and your benefit. But first, their benefit, right? And more than you, they should win more. Like if people come join mentorship program, they spend lakhs of rupees. My objective is to how can I give them 10 or 100 times more value when they become crorepati? Few lakhs does not matter. So yes, they win first, then I win. It's a win-win.
So it is about this whole aspect of together winning something, together having an exchange in this field.
Yes, yes,
What
100%.
are what are some of the what was your sales journey like? What was the stuff that really made you go, aha, this is why I like sales? Like, was it books? Was it mentors? What were some of the ideas that really resonated with you?
It's really funny because, my breakthrough came after 14 years of being in sales. I spoke about in the last episode, we spoke about mediocrity. It was a height of mediocrity in my profession because I was from sales. I did not read any sales books,
Hmm.
any sales courses, any sales trainings, except for the one which corporate was giving me. Think about this, right? Today, doctor. Imagine a doctor who's not read any books on doctorate. Imagine a lawyer who has not read any books from law. Now imagine a salesperson who has not read any books on sales. So this was me, ignorant, right? And what triggered is just one line of the CEO that I worked for in the last company before I quit the job. He said that you give you 100%, I'll make sure you get 150% back. And I was new, associate director, market research company. I said, I'm going to give him 110% or 200%, and I'll be the top sales champion of the company. But then I asked the question, how do I become a top champion? And there are already some people, in this company, they know a lot, they have built a relationship with clients and all. I said, I need to do something extraordinary. For that, I need extraordinary skills. And that's when I went to YouTube and I searched sales training. Pehli bar life mein, I went on YouTube proactively to search sales training. Most of the sales people are notorious. We never learned sales, proactively. We were forced upon by the, business owners. And I
And you're
found
given a script.
you given a script, robot ki tarah, पोपट की तरह बोलते रहो. And that's why we hate sales, because we see those slimy and robotic salespeople.
Correct.
Um, and then I found this video of 50 minutes and I was hooked onto it. This was from my first mentor, who became my first mentor later, Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone blew my mind with his passion for sales and serving and all that. And his concept was mind blowing. And I went submerged myself into his studies and everything he was doing. That changed my perspective of sales from that day onwards. And in fact, that book itself got me the realization that I was mediocre. The 10x Rule by Grant Cardone, my favorite
It's
book.
an amazing book.
Yeah.
For me, the video was Zig Ziglar talking about Columbus coming to America. Have you seen that video?
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
brilliant video where he's talking about. Can you imagine Columbus was the world's best salesman? How do you convince somebody to sail off the edge of the earth, hoping that you don't fall off, and saying that there's something there? So it was a very interesting video by Zig Ziglar. I think it was a
Yeah.
fantastic one. Um, I want to understand this. Okay, so Dave, what was your sales script, inverted commas? I'm sure you still probably remember it from 16 years ago when you were in that call center company, etc. And now how do you make sales? Like, what is the language tonality difference between these two?
Ah, at the beginning, my sales script, it was, starting with customer service and upselling, right?
Hmm.
So, the who dev tumhari kirna sahayata kari saku, like Gujarati call center, I started the international BPO, right? I went to, international BPO selling payment protection plans, credit information, selling the Capital One process and BPO I was part of. There it was more slimy and the, pitch was verbatim. They just given me the script, you know, and I'll just go through this. Rattu Popat ki tarah. At Capital One, we help you support da 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 da. And this is a credit inform. I still remember the product name, Credit Inform, and we'll update you your credit scores and all. Would you like to do this? He said no. Okay, thank you. That's all I will
And
do.
it was done.
Done. There was no selling. There was no selling. There was just telling. And people think telling is selling. It is not. It's actually opposite.
It was
And
just informing, saying, "Ha, hum hai." No, okay, fine, thank you.
exactly, exactly. But today, complete dynamics of selling has changed. Today, actually, I don't sell. I close.
Hmm.
Selling is different and closing is different. Selling is the traditional way of selling. Look at our product, look at our features, benefit. I run one of the webinar called High Ticket Entrepreneurs. I teach people how to sell high ticket products and services without being salesy. The ultimate, ultimate level of selling is when you don't sell and people want it and buy it, right? Closing without selling. And this, my script typically starts from what you just mentioned earlier. Closing is not about what product you have and you want to chipkao and sell becho becho becho. Closing is all about knowing who they are, what do they want, and helping them to get exactly that, right? By helping them to make a decision. And all the people, why psychology is so crucial in sales is a lot of people want to buy, want to make a decision, but they're afraid, they're fearful, like what if it doesn't work, what if this is not the right thing, all that. Your job as a closer, उनके काले बादल जो हैं हटाने हैं. They have the dream, they have the wish to come out of the pain or suffering or have the desire to achieve something. Your job as a closer is to get rid of their fears and worries and anxiety, that small talk which is happening in their head. Do that. The only way you can do that is understand what do they really care for. So my conversation today starts from, what is your dream? What do you want to achieve? What else you want to achieve? Step one. Step two, what is stopping you from achieving it? What is the roadblock? What are the challenges? And they realize this thing in the second stage itself. They have so much of emotional connect, so much of pain and where they are. Many of my potential buyers, they start crying. Now I don't do one-on-one closing, but when I used to do it, people cry. Oh, Dave, can you help me? Can Okay. See, I never had to sell. I did not even tell about anything about my product, my service. By just knowing the dream, asking the questions in the right sequence, arousing the pain and emotion, they're ready to buy. And I say, okay, you know what? This can work. Here's the option, right? So this is how my script evolved right now, killing their doubts and fears by making them realize. And I want to share this Guru mantra. A lot of my mentees call me Guru Dev, a mentor and a Dev. So Guru Dev. So I say, okay, I'm going to give you Guru mantra if you call me Guru Dev. So one of the Guru mantra is, people buy with emotions and justify with logic.
Hmm.
Right now, this is popular sales term, but this became my Guru mantra of sales. How can emotion nahi to transformation nahi, emotion nahi to sales nahi. So if there is no emotion in your conversation and deals, people not gonna buy, right? All you see, all the decision or everything that we bought, most of our decision of expensive products especially, were emotional. They were not survival decision, right? And survival के लिए we don't even have to sell. खाना वाना अपने आप ही बिक जाता है, right? But for, especially if you're selling educational products or services, consulting, coaching, these things, you have to have this realization. When they go through the pain, they sell themselves. Like, no, can you help me? Can you support me? So these are the script I follow.
That's amazing. It is not of I have this to put onto you, or I don't.
Yeah.
This is what you need. It is about first tell me about your life, right? It is
Yes.
first tell me about what it is that you fear, and the reason why we keep saying sales as service is because we are trying to help them out of their fear.
100%. 100%. The funny part, I was at one of the event, Affiliate World, recently in Dubai, and I went to a few kiosks just to check, what are they doing and all. Everybody did this blunder, which 95% of salespeople are making right now. Moment I walk in, okay, hello sir, how are you? Yeah, yeah. I say, "Kya, tell me what is about this, what is this app and all that thing." So, this app is this feature, this benefit, this thing, that thing, this thing, that thing. Like, oh my god, it's like telling. This is like sales puke. I call it sales puke. They just puke their pitch and features and benefit, because that's what they've been told by the companies and the managers. कि ये रट्टा मार लो, ये बता दो features है. Let's see something will stick, right? It's like a spaghetti, right? Throw this on the wall and let's see something sticks. Nobody actually asked me, they what do you do? What is your dream? What are you looking to achieve? What are your challenges? What are your problems? And based on that, I think this would work for you or this would not work for you. You don't have to have obligation to sell to everything. It's a lie. It's a myth. Sell ice to an Eskimo. Why? Eskimo does not need ice. They don't need to sell it. Go and sell something else. Maybe sell a gola, right? Eskimo has our baraf. Add some gola and sell it to them. That's more add value add. Otherwise, you don't need. So it's a big ignorance in salespeople, most of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think it's also a skill on flipping it on its head. Right? You enter a place and you say, "Chalo, tell me about yourself." Right? The obvious instinct is to say, "Okay, I'm going to tell you about myself and what my product does." But the skill is actually turning that around and asking you the questions. I think
Yeah.
the starting skills of sales start at that point of time where it is not just about what I am, but like how do I ask you instead? What
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about yourself.
So the mediocre salespeople or businessmen, they talk most of the time,
Mm.
80%, and only let the customer talk 20% of the time. The smart people do it opposite. The champion closers, they do opposite. They only talk 20% of the time and make people talk 80% of the time. So that is a skill, that is an art that, if you can learn, asking the right question in right sequence to get the right answers, that is going to help you to unearth their pain, unearth their need, and through that you will be able to close the deal. Yeah.
Lovely. And I want to get into closing, but before that, I want to understand pricing because I think for many people, pricing and sales is something that typically goes together because you're saying it's an energy exchange. I'm giving you something, you're giving me something in back. How do
Mm.
you know what is a good price point for your either yourself or your products?
I love this question. How do you know which price is the optimum? So here are some of the checkpoints that I put for myself, and I teach my students in high ticket entrepreneurship. I say, first thing first, whatever price that you're charging, for you it is low. Whatever price you're charging for buyer is high. Is the perception that we have, right? So what you need to do is you need to push your limits to increase the price. And who's going to tell you? Marketplace is going to tell you. How? They will not buy, sales will decline, right? And it is actually our obligation to charge high. A lot of people say, what? They have the belief, no, come down badhiya kam. I said, it does not work these days now. It was an old saying. Today's new mantra, guru mantra I'll give you is zyada dam, zabardast kam. Charge high, but give the premium service. Like, how can you do that? So when you do low price and low value, you're in a suicide zone. There are four quadrants. First quadrant, low price, low value. You would die as an entrepreneur or businessman. Then there's a second zone, high price, low value, is survival zone, because you survive or you may perish. Because if you keep giving product for more price and you're not delivering the value, the marketplace is not stupid. They're going to pull you down and it'll close you, shut you. Then there's a third quadrant, which is low price, high value, which majority of the people are. Come down, buddy, come strategy. That is struggling zone. People struggle to get the ends meet, to get the revenue in, no profit margin. They cannot do marketing. They cannot hire great people. So the same loop continues. And there's a fourth and ultimate zone, right? It's a success zone, which is high price, high value. So that's what I like to operate in, and that's what I teach my mentees to operate in. One of my mentee was charging 30,000 for stock markets, and he's been doing that for 8 years. The moment he joined the community passionpreneur, a high ticket entrepreneur, I said double the price. He's like, what? Double the price? I said, yeah. Okay, fine. I'm gonna do 50,000. He was shocked and came back. Dave, I charged 50,000 and I got more conversion, and I don't have to chase people. I said, wow. Now I said, go and double it again. He said, what? I already just doubled. I said, go double it now. Now I want you to think, what more can you do for them? Okay, all right, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to provide this. I'm going to provide this. I'm going to bulk up the value so much that if he gives me X, I'm going to give it 10X. So high price, highest value. And then again, conversion improved, and you're surprised. And this is not just one client. Ayurvedic doctor did it, charging 20, 30,000 to 2 lakh rupees for complete solution instead of selling a commodity, right? He was selling a commodity. He was giving Ayurvedic medicines. And he's like, how do I compete with Amazon? Amazon is discounting. And I said, stop selling commodity. Give a solution. People don't care about your commodity. They care about the result. Sell the results, right? They don't buy the drill. They buy the hole, right? Give the result. Don't sell the drill. It's just the means. So understand all that, and you will be able to convert people. So how do you increase it? Right now, all of you listening to me, if you are running a business, if you're in a company, double your price. Like, what? I know it will scare you, right? But at the same time, think about what more can you do. Like, I had one client, I can give you so many case studies. He was selling commodity of selling tiles. Like, मैं tiles बेचता हूँ, sir, कैसे मैं double करूँ price? Like, इतने सारे tiles provider है. I said, when you double the price, what do people want? Do they want tiles? No, they want good homes, beautiful homes. I said, sell homes. Sell beautiful homes. What else can you do apart from tiles? So I can provide the package, I can provide services, I can do it consulting, turnkey, so many things I can do. I said, do that. One guy is doing photography for real estate people in Australia, one of my mentee. I said, what are you doing? I'm charging this much money for this many hours, and I give these many photographs to real estate. I said, what do these real estate people want? Do they want photos? No, they want to sell the property. Help them to sell the property, help them to publish those photos on social media, market it, sell it, right? They're not able to close, give them closer as well. And not only we'll take the photos of property, we'll list it and we'll sell it as well. You give us the commission. That's how, increase the price, increase the value. And timeline, perfect timeline that I look at, beginners, every 3 to 6 months, increase your price. Of
Amazing.
course, you need to learn a lot of things, how to increase value and all. But thumb rule, increased your price 3 to 6 months. I was charging 1 lakh when I started in 2018 for mentorship. Today it gone to 10 lakh rupees per client. It has been 5 years. People are still paying. My batch has gone from 20 members to 350 members. It's not about me. It's not about my mentees. Anybody can do it. It's just this mindset shift needs to happen. Don't get scared. You will maybe think that you lose clients at the beginning, but eventually it'll all pay through. And also, before we go to next question, there are clients from hell. All clients are not equal. There are clients from hell. Those clients they want you to cut the cost, and they want you to deliver all that thing. Those clients from hell come usually from your low ticket products. People who pay you less have the highest demand. People who pay you more, they are the most humble people, and they're most less painful people. I've experienced it. I'm sure you would have done it as well.
It's so, so true. And those people, please cut out of your life. You don't need that drama in your life, right? Is that the same advice that you would give?
100%. Yeah, say bye bye to the client from hell.
And say bye bye to the client. You know, it's so interesting, Dave. I love this concept. It is you increase your price and then you figure out how your product can be worthy of that price instead of trying to figure out, oh, for the same product, can I increase it little, little, little? No, double it and now see how much value you can add to it.
Yeah,
It's a,
and
it's a,
I think most of the people know they're competition driven, and their prices depend on, oh, mera competition kitna charge kar raha hai, I should also do that. So is your competitor running your business or you running it?
mm,
Right? Again, is the unconditional decisions that we make. I set my price when I started a coaching program. Everybody saying not 10,000, 20,000. People don't spend money in coaching training in 2018. I said, I'm going to charge 1 lakh, man. I said, what? I said, and what am and I'm not going to just give information. I'm going to help them get results. I'll be a mentor, not a trainer, not a coach, not a consultant. I'll help them get results. So be different, become different, and create your own space and charge more by adding value which nobody else is doing in the marketplace.
crazy, crazy. Absolutely love it. I have one story before you get into the closing part is that 2 years ago, so I was just about to have my business touch its first $1 million mark. And in one meditation, it came to me saying that from now onwards, don't charge for whatever you're doing, just give everything away free. Okay, so that was one dramatic change for businessman to first say that, I'm going to be touching 1 million now coming back down to zero was a dramatic mental shift in the beginning. This is about 2 years ago, right? So full freak out scene happened. Just giving you a short version of whatever happened. When we meet, I can tell you the whole thing.
Sure.
Um, I told my clients from now onwards, stop paying me. We will continue our sessions the way we are, and we'll do everything the same way, but stop paying me. Everyone stopped working with me. It is amazing how nobody said that, Ashton, what you were giving was priceless. Now you not put a price on it. How do I actually justify this? Right?
Wow.
So when you think about things that you're giving away for free, it's not about it's not valued or valued. It is about that the exchange of energy has stopped, and as a result, nothing moves forward.
I
So I think it's a
100%.
very interesting.
That's a very powerful story, and thank you so much for sharing. Maybe I'll use your case study to other mentees in
Yeah,
my client.
please. It's so powerful.
You did, and that's true. In universe, it has to have equal right amount of exchange of energy, right? If you're doing things for free and they're not paying anything, universe will take that privilege away from them,
Correct.
right? You giving knowledge and wisdom, but they're not paying for it. So the universe will take them because they'll not be committed, and something will happen, they'll not value it, and they'll disappear. So do a favor on your clients, charge them high. And when they pay high, their commitment is high, they get the best service, the best pleasure, they value it more. They win, you win, even marketplace win. Take their profit margin, put back in your business, grow your reach, serve more people. It's a win-win-win for everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the way to start thinking about it. Dave, closing. Tell me the difference between closing and selling. I love the aspect that you said that I'm a closer now. I was a selling person earlier.
Yeah, yeah. So sales is everything that you tell, right? My product, my service, this thing, proposal, chasing people. That's a traditional way, selling, selling, selling. Closing, the difference is, selling will say, it's a great product, wonderful. I think you should buy it, right? It will work for you. It'll be wonderful for you. It's a sales. Closer, I don't know if you're ready for this. Why do you think you should buy this product? Why do you think I'm the right person to buy from? Why do you think this is something that's going to help you? Right? The sales is pulling, trying to pull people towards them. Close is pushing people away and letting people decide. Now, this is, a lot of people get scared at the beginning. I'm telling you, when I'm in a one-on-one calls, I tell this to people. You know what? I don't think you're ready. Like, what? What? See, they've never dealt with a closer, so they don't know how to handle this. They know how to handle salespeople because they've seen so many people, but they don't know how to handle this. Like, I don't think you're ready. I don't think this is for you. Are you sure? Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. Are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, yeah. See, that is closing. And I double check also. And one person said, I think I'm almost sure. I said, what is almost? Like, is a yes, is a no? Oh, I'm almost healthy. I'm almost happy. That is no almost. Like, no, no, yeah, yeah, I am ready. I'm ready. So that is a big difference between selling and closing. It just, selling is pulling, telling, right? And salespeople talk most of the time. Closers talks the least, right? Salespeople may ask, may not even ask the questions. Few people may ask questions, but closers not only ask the right questions to get the right questions in the right sequence to get the right answers. To closer, the outcome is very predictable. They know, because they've, it's like engineered sale, right? They know engineering hota hai, ek bar set ho gaya process, you will get the same product repeatedly. So they can engineer the outcome of sale. It could be one of them: either you're not ready, you're not the right fit, or let's do this, right? Yes, ready, let's do this. Outcome pata hi hai. So it's a game of, like a game of chess, closing game of chess. He's going to say this, and I'm going to ask this. He's going to say this, I'm going to ask this. They already know 2 to 3 steps ahead that is going to close, right? So that's the difference between closer and salespeople. Keep chasing. Decision liya kya? Have you bought it? Do you want to buy it? No. The salespeople push them away. They look, this is going to be valid only for today or this time. If you don't buy it, the price goes up. They may send a reminder, but that's about it. So they don't chase people. Closers, that's why the closing are very different breed. And this is how the difference is.
Very interesting. Is there also a relationship between closing and willingness to walk away?
Yes, yes. I think that's a big difference. Big similarity. Like, as a closer, you decide who you want to work with. Right? Salespeople usually don't decide. They want everybody to buy from them. As a closer, you want to work with, or you're ready or not ready. So that self-belief in whatever you're doing, your product, your service, is very high in closing. And salespeople, they look at the client here. And I can give you one subtle example. I did recently a coaching to one of my clients, and I said, let's do a role play. I said, okay. So he's like, okay, let's start. I'm a prospect, and he said, okay, great. So he started by saying, hey, first of all, thank you so much for taking your time out and speaking with you today. Today we're going to talk about your child's, mind and all. He's a mindset coach for a child. I said, that is a blunder. I was like, why? I said, that's a sales thing. You know, Closers will not say, hey, thank you for coming. And imagine you're having pain and you go to a doctor. Doctor won't say, hey, thank you for visiting my clinic. Kya injection loge aap? You are the doctor. You have the solution. They are the people in the pain. Who should be thanking who? I said, that's the difference, because you believe in your product and service. And he was overly enthusiastic, right? Oh, no, we can do this. I said, enthusiasm, loses the deal. In sales, you've been told to be enthusiastic and excited and energetic. But in closing, it's absolutely opposite. It has an opposite effect, because when you do that, you become needy. And nobody wants to buy needy, because needy is creepy, right? When you don't have the need and urge, you're still neutral, you're still humble and nice, and you can still smile and all. But over exaggeration of energy, over enthusiasm kills the deal, right? I used to use this, for 13 years I worked in sales, right? I used to use these words of adjectives a lot. Somebody says something, amazing, 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 awesome, awesome, wonderful, oh, great, wonderful. Like, overly using this to make the person feel that, okay, I'm listening and all that. I thought I'm doing a wonderful job. But those are the deal killers, because they make you feel that you're desperate, you're needy. But instead, you can say, wow, that makes sense. That's good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Understand. These are the normal neutral tonalities and neutral words, which is completely different in closing, because you don't need them, they need you more. That psychological shift is very powerful.
I love that. They need you more, you don't need them as much. And as soon as you make that shift, that basically you're not making a sales from a place of desperation, but from a place of power.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Amazing, amazing. Dave, this has been a fantastic conversation. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with this with us, because I think sales is something that we all really need to understand. Whatever job we have, we're always selling no matter what it is that we're doing. So this is so, so critical. Like you said, a doctor also has to sell, but that's the thing.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It has been my pleasure, Ashton. I think what you're doing is wonderful. Your podcasts are great. I listen to it, and all the people, and check out these podcasts. Visit them few times, because a lot of pearls of wisdom, not just with me, but other great speakers who have come here. Jay Shetty was there. Right? Listen to them. Submerge yourself. This is the knowledge which is coming to you at such a simple and easy way. Get the best out of it. You're doing a
Um,
great job. I look forward to meeting you in Dubai.
Done, Dave. Thank you so much. One last thing. How can people connect with you? How can people continue this conversation with you?
If you go to Instagram, devgadhvi10x.com, specifically for people looking to learn and master their business or sales, there's something called high ticket entrepreneurship. You click the link, there will be a link tree, and just join that webinar where I teach you more in depth in sales. And if you're not in sales, if you're looking to start your business, there is another webinar as well. Quit 9 to 5, build the business on passion. Either way, you can follow me on social media. I'm very accessible through my knowledge. You can check out the books as well that I've written: 80% mindset, 20% skills, and 6 Sundays a week. So that's all.
What is the second one?
6 Sundays a week life.
6 Sundays a week. Like, oh, lovely. Nice. All right. So you're
How can you
working
live
one.
every day as a Sunday?
Lovely, lovely.
It's not
Nice.
about sitting on
I
a
love
couch
the
and doing
title.
nothing. Yeah, it's like, how can you live your day, with full passion that work does not feel like work? Every day is a Sunday.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in Dubai.
Same here. Take care. God bless you.